Hello to all my fellow 40-somethings. I'm Bernd, and I'm delighted to welcome you to the Great 40s, a place where we celebrate the dynamic and rewarding journey of life in our 40s. Grab a drink, enjoy the journey, and who knows, maybe you find some new insights about your very self retrospectively alongside the way. The teenage years represent one of life's most dynamic and formative periods. These years serve as the bridge between childhood and adulthood, characterized by significant physical, emotional, cognitive, and social changes. Understanding this developmental stage provides valuable context for appreciating how these experiences shape our trajectory through subsequent decades of life and sets the foundation of our future personality. Adolescence begins with puberty, triggering substantial physiological changes that transform children into physically mature individuals. During this period, teenagers experience rapid growth spurts, often occurring at different rates across the body, which can create temporary awkwardness, a little weird proportions, or even coordination challenges. Sexual maturation includes the development of primary and secondary sex characteristics, necessitating adaptation to changing body image. Neurological development, particularly in the prefrontal cortex, continues throughout adolescence and impacts decision-making, impulse control, and risk assessment capacities. These physical changes create a foundation for adult health patterns and often coincide with the establishment of exercise habits, nutritional preferences, and overall wellness approaches that may persist for decades. The teenage years feature pronounced emotional development, characterized by heightened emotional intensity and variability, creating experiences that feel more vivid and significant than at other life stages. Identity formation processes emerge as teenagers actively experiment with different personas, belief systems, and values to determine what resonates authentically. Due to this urge for experimentation, it's fair to say that this is a phase in life where we are easily attracted by new, to us, ways of thinking and things that are just a little different to concepts familiar to us. This period also brings the development of abstract thinking capabilities, enabling more complex moral reasoning, hypothetical scenarios, and philosophical contemplation. Increased self-consciousness and preoccupation with how others perceive them often accompanies the imaginary audience phenomenon, where teens believe they are constantly being observed and evaluated. The emotional patterns established during this period frequently create reference points that influence reactions to situations way into adulthood. Teenage social development centers on shifting relationship dynamics as peer relationships gain paramount importance, often temporarily eclipsing family connections in perceived significance. The formation of social groups based on shared interests, values, or characteristics provides crucial belonging experiences that help solidify personal identity. Early romantic relationships and exploration of attraction establish templates for future intimate partnerships, while teenagers simultaneously negotiate independence from parents and authority figures, creating new boundaries and responsibilities. These social experiences provide foundational learning about trust, conflict resolution, collaboration, and interpersonal boundaries that shape future relationships. The teenage years coincide with critical educational transitions that expose teenagers to specialized subject areas and potential career interests. This period witnesses the development of study habits and academic self-concept that may influence educational and professional trajectories for decades to come. Increasing autonomy in learning choices and educational goal setting allows teens to take greater ownership of their intellectual development and future way in life, while exploration of talents and aptitudes through extracurricular activities, sports, arts, or specialized study helps identify areas of passion and competence. These educational experiences often influence career selection, higher education decisions, and lifelong learning approaches that extend well beyond adolescence. Adolescence presents unique risk factors alongside opportunities for developing resilience. Increased susceptibility to peer influence and experimental behaviors may include potential exposure to substances, risky activities, or negative social dynamics. However, these challenges also provide context for developing coping mechanisms and emotional regulation strategies that may persist into adulthood. The formation of decision-making patterns regarding risk assessment and impulse control during this period creates templates for handling similar situations later in life. Opportunities to overcome challenges and develop self-efficacy through natural consequences and supported independence build resilience that serves individuals well throughout subsequent life stages. The world changes, and if you read this as a person now in your 40s, you should be aware of the new challenges which have emerged for today's teenagers due to our more and more digital lifestyle, which you most probably never had to worry about yourself during this important phase in life. Modern teenagers navigate additional complexity through digital identity development as they establish online personas and social media presence, creating dual social worlds that previous generations did not experience. Learning to navigate privacy, digital boundaries, and online communication norms becomes an essential developmental task with long-term implications. The development of media literacy and critical consumption skills shapes information processing approaches that extend into adulthood, while access to global information and diverse perspectives beyond immediate physical communities broadens worldviews in unprecedented ways. These digital experiences shape communication styles and relationship management approaches that continue evolving throughout subsequent decades. The teenage years hold disproportionate significance because neurologically, experiences during this period create neural pathways when the brain is particularly plastic and receptive to environmental input. Emotionally, first experiences carry heightened significance and often serve as reference points throughout life, creating emotional templates that inform reactions to similar situations decades later. Socially, identity formation during this period establishes foundational perspectives about oneself in relation to others that may persist throughout adulthood. Cognitively, this period establishes learning patterns and intellectual interests that often continue influencing educational and professional choices well into middle age. The teenage years represent a crucial developmental period that establishes foundational patterns across multiple domains. Rather than merely a transitional phase to endure, these years provide essential experiences that shape identity, relationship patterns, cognitive approaches, and emotional regulation strategies. Understanding the significance of adolescent development provides valuable context for appreciating how these formative experiences influence our journey through subsequent decades and prepare us for the unique challenges and opportunities of each life stage. As we move beyond these years, the intense experiences of adolescence continue informing our approach to adulthood, creating reference points that help contextualize and navigate the distinctive characteristics of each subsequent decade of life. Thanks for joining me on today's episode. I hope you found it valuable and entertaining. Don't forget to visit my website at great40s.com, where you can find matching articles to all episodes. If you're enjoying the podcast and want to support what I do, you will also find there very affordable subscription options that help keep this show going. Your support means everything to me. Take care and see you at the next episode of The Great 40s.